Hello everyone, welcome to Spooky Silly Storytime. My name is Penny Dreadful and I'm here from the Danbury Public Library. Today I'd like to share a story with you that is both a little bit spooky and a little silly to put a smile on your face. Would you like to hear today's story? Well, here we go.
At the Old Haunted House. Written by Helen Ketteman. Illustrated by Wragg. At the old haunted house, in a room with no sun, lived a warty green witch, and her wee witch one. "Spell!" cried the witch. "Poof!" cried the one, and they both practiced spells in the room with no sun. At the old haunted house, where a cold draught blew, lived a big ma monster, and her wee monsters too. "Stir!" cried the ma. "We stir!" cried the two, and they whirred and they stirred, while the cold draught blew. By the old haunted house, in the dead hollow tree, lived a scrawny black cat, and her wee kittens three. "Scratch!" cried the mother. "Meow!" cried the three, and they scratched and they growled in the dead hollow tree. At the old haunted house with a squeaky old floor lived a green paw goblin and his wee goblins four. "Dust!" called the paw. "We dust!" said the four, and they spread lots of dust on the squeaky old floor. At the old haunted house where the scary things jive lived a ma werewolf and her wee wolfies five. "Howl!" cried the ma. "Howl!" wailed the five, and they yowled and they howled where the scary things jive. In the old haunted house, in a vault made of bricks, lived a papa vampire and his little vamps six. "Show fangs!" Papa cried. "Hiss!" went the six, and they snarled and they shrieked in the vault made of bricks. At the old haunted house, teaching a lesson, was a hairy mom bat and her bitty bats seven. "Dip dive!" cried the mom. "Flip flap!" went the seven, and they dipped and they dove in their dip diving lesson. By the old haunted house near the graveyard gate lived a spooky dad ghost and his wee ghosties eight. "Haunt!" cried the dad. "Boo!" cried the eight, and they booed and they floated through the graveyard gate. At the old haunted house, half covered with vines, lived a mummy mommy and her wee mummies nine. "Mix!" called the mommy. "We mix!" called the nine, and they stirred and they mixed in the house with the vines. At the old haunted house, in the dusty old den, lived a fat ma spider and her wee spiders 10. "Spin!" called the ma. "Weave ho!" said the 10, and they spun sticky webs in the dusty old den. At the old haunted house, the front door creaked. "Trick or treat!" yelled the children. The ghost shrieked, "Eek!" "Come in!" called Mom Mummy. The monsters made stew, the mummies made cake, the witches zapped brew. The creatures all grinned as they struck up the band, and the spiders all swung on sticky web strands. The ghosties floated as the music played, black cats scratched and werewolves bayed. The vampire band played music all night, and they all had fun at the Halloween fright.
Wasn't that a fun story? Did it send shivers down your spine? Or did it make you giggle? Well, now that we've had our story, it's time for a snack. So we're going to go down to my kitchen and we're going to learn how to make a simple, tasty treat. So this week we are going to make apple monsters. And to do that, we're going to need an apple, any kind of apple you like, peanut butter or SunButter if you're allergic to peanuts. We're going to need some raisins, some Rice Krispies. We don't need a lot. A cutting board, a butter knife that we can use for our peanut butter, and we are going to need a sharp knife. So as you can probably guess, since we're using a sharp knife, this is definitely something you're going to need an adult to help you out with, because we don't want anyone to cut themselves. So, as always, since we have a piece of fruit here, we are going to wash our fruit first. This has all been washed. And once we've got it washed and clean, we are going to go ahead and cut it into quarters. So now we have one apple that's been cut into quarters and cored. So now we are going to make these into our faces. So how we're going to do that is we're going to cut a little wedge in here. Now we're not going to cut it all the way through. We want to leave some of it so it's connected. Okay, so now we have, looks kind of like little mouths, don't they? Yeah. So now we're going to put our big one aside, and instead we're going to take some of our peanut butter or SunButter, and now we're going to put it all inside the mouth here. So now, you know something, I think he needs a tongue. I think we need tongues. You could also use grapes or strawberries, but I don't have any of those. I have apples, so. So he's coming along, but you know something? I think he needs some teeth. So that's when we're going to use our Rice Krispies. So we'll put some in our hand. And we're going to stick these into the peanut butter or our SunButter. We're going to make them into like teeth. Because monsters need teeth, huh? Yeah. So now they got teeth. It's kind of cool. And one more thing. I think they need some eyes. Because monsters need to be able to see. So that's when we're going to use our raisins. And to make our raisins stick, we're going to grab a little bit more of our SunButter or peanut butter. And we're going to put a little bit on the back of the raisin. And then we're going to stick him right onto the face. There he goes. So here's the end result, our little apple monsters. Aren't they cool? And they're very tasty. Enjoy! I hope you had fun at today's spooky silly story time. Until next time when we meet again, stay silly, stay spooky, and enjoy this wonderful Halloween season. Goodbye, everyone.